Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of SpearCast. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Christian.
Happy Halloween!
Yeah.
It's as of this recording, it's Halloween. How's your? And we're also, well, first off, we're here joined by, I guess you can say permanent members, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Johnson and
Hello.
Joanna Chavez. We're now expanding to 4 members of SpearCast. You know, don't get a lot of listeners, but you know what? We're growing. We're moving. We're moving numbers. You know what? So it's fine. Exactly. All right. We had an interesting little weekend all across the board with all the sports. Who would want to take it away with arguably one of the biggest things to come out of this weekend, football?
Yeah. I'll start off to that, and then I'll pass it to everybody else. SJSU football, we won. We won 35-0 in Hawaii. The Dick Tommy legacy game, and if you guys don't know who Dick Tommy is, he was a coach for both schools. He coached San Jose State from 2005 to 2009, and he coached Hawaii in 2011. And now, after he passed in 2019, ever since then, they've had a trophy in his honor for whoever wins that game annually gets that trophy. But yeah, 35-0. I'll kick it to Aaron because I know he has some stats. Who were the big performers of this weekend?
Well, I have to start with Chevin Cordero. He had 251 yards on the game, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, it's hard to find something that we did wrong as a team on the whole because everyone was very solid, including the ground game with Kyrie Robinson and Conley have been kind of the two-headed monster all season. Kyrie, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Conley had 73 yards and a touchdown. So just all-around great game from the Spartans. Oh, not to mention Nick Nash also had both of Chevin Cordero's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Nick Nash, good for him. And also, it was our first shutout since 2013. The last time we shut out
Third
somebody.
win in a row.
Yeah,
Third win in a row.
Third win in a row. First shutout since 2013 against Sacramento State. So yeah, I mean, a great win. Like you said, three wins in a row, and hopefully we can turn this ship around.
Yeah, I mean, like Matt said a few episodes ago now, there's still a chance for a bowl game, which honestly I don't think any of us really expected with the start that they had, and especially in conference. I mean, we went from what, an 0-3 record or something like that, or no, 2 losses, two losses in conference, right? And then now 3 straight. I mean, this is definitely up. It's just now ahead of that Fresno game. It's gonna be a big one, obviously.
And then I think the important thing leading up into this Fresno week is right now it's a bye week, so they have a whole week of off to prepare, get their mind right, get healthy, to prepare for that big Fresno State rivalry game.
Yeah, so this bye week is definitely going to be a big thing, you know. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't able to watch it. But what did you guys see in the game in terms of, how we were doing, passing, running, and all that? What did you guys think?
That's easy. We just dominated every single aspect. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all it was. I mean, they scored 0 points. We scored 35. I mean, that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, I think Aaron put it perfect. The perfect word to describe it is a dominant performance. It was domination. So, yeah.
And not to mention, we have our own little Christian McCaffrey little streak going on here with Kyrie Robinson. He's got continued his touchdown streak, obviously. He scored last against Hawaii. So.
Not in double digits yet, but he's at 8 games. So that's
he's going to get there. I'm calling it now.
Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, with the season that we've been having so far, how big do you guys think that this bye week is going to be for San Jose State?
Huge, especially after getting a blowout win. You get to just, chill on that kind of, mentally and then just go into, a big game against Fresno State. I think it's huge. I think it's huge right now.
I agree. Get your minds right, get your body right. There's nothing better than, I think this is the perfect timing for a bye week.
All right, cool.
All right, so let's pivot away from football. Let's get into some women's soccer here to start it out. And they had a very disappointing season following up their Mountain West Championship in 2022. Finished the season 3-10-6 with only 1-7-3 in conference play. So not a very good season. But we do have some players getting some accolades at the end of the year. Sabrina Weineman appeared in her 79th career match in San Jose State, which tied for the 9th most appearances in program history. On top of that, Sabrina Weineman made the first team all-conference, and Kennedy Mayo made the all-newcomers team.
All newcomers?
Yeah.
Damn.
Rising star.
So a little bit of a hangover from last year's Mountain West Conference Championship, as we were talking about before this started recording. But, yeah, I mean, rough season. Season's over.
I mean, did we get a hot start in the women's soccer season? Correct me if I'm wrong.
All right, so they started off with a loss and then a tie and a win, so we kind of had everything going. But we weren't really losing. We were tying a lot and then losing close matches, but then it just kind of went all downhill after the win in Southern Utah pretty much.
Yeah, but this goes for the three of you. What do you guys think about obviously winning the championship last season, but then now obviously missing out on the tournament and like tying and losing as much as they did. Like, what do you guys think like just went wrong?
Man, it might have just been one of those years.
one of those tough years.
It's always tough to not make the tournament. And overall, I mean, for the people who are graduating, that stinks. But for the people who are coming back, I mean, there's a lot of lessons you can learn from all those losses. So,
yeah. I mean, I would imagine those like freshmen and sophomores, they're gonna come back with a vengeance next season, hopefully.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely determination for them. Just seeing, what they can improve on and how they're going to come back next semester. I'm excited to see it. I know losing sucks. I don't know if we could say sucks.
No, yeah, you can. I mean, speak your mind here.
But that determination they're going to get, knowing that they came off of such a hard loss, not even just a simple loss, is going to be really motivational to see.
All right. Well, I think, flipping from the women's to the men's side of things, we made the WAC tournament. It was announced this past weekend.
Yep. And the WAC is not, because the tournament's WAC, it's the Western Athletic Conference.
All right. Well, yeah. So we got the first round. And so, what do you guys think? What do you guys think realistically is going to come out of this tournament for us, and even like all around?
I mean, I feel like with soccer, you never know, because we're matched up against our first game is against Utah Tech, and actually this season we beat them 3-0 earlier this year, 3-0 on October 8th. So it's like we barely made the tournament. We just finished with a loss in our last game of the regular season to UT, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Lost 2-3 in that game, but at the end of the day, we still snuck into the tournament, and we're playing a team that we beat this year in the one game we played them. So, you never really know what can happen in these tournaments.
Yeah, and then when it comes to that, did they announce any like first team, second team, anything like that yet, or no?
I don't think that came out yet. No.
If anything, that'd be like in a few days, huh?
Yeah, probably once they get going in the tournament, or
Yeah, true.
Once
good
we
point.
win the whole thing.
But yeah, I mean, anything else you guys want to say about soccer?
I mean, good luck, right?
Yeah, good luck. Hey, we snuck in. Hey,
Yeah.
let's get some upsets going.
Anything can happen.
All right. Well, switching from soccer to now, indoors, the volleyball, they finally snapped their 6-game losing streak, which is amazing. Well, it was a close one though. It was they went all 5 sets in 3-2. Against Fresno State. In their first 2 sets, they won 25-22, 25-21, and then they dropped the next 2 sets, 16-26, 20-25, and then San Jose State came out on top, 15-13, which almost felt like they like snuck by in that win, because Fresno State actually had more kills than we did. We had 49, and Fresno State had 55 kills. So we genuinely snuck by in that win, in my opinion. For just reading that alone, just feels like Fresno just made a lot of errors.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, snapping a 6-game losing streak is great, and a win's a win. However,
exactly, a win's a win. W's all around, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
But we had we had the typical leaders. Freshman Nayeli Tia again with 17 kills this time, and then junior Brooke Bryant lead second right behind her with 10. So those two have just been dominant so far in the season.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, snapping that 6-game win streak.
Snapping that 6-game losing streak must have felt so relieving.
It just kind of was like, is this going to go on for the rest of the year?
And my gosh. It didn't look so great either. I mean, they got up 2-0 and then in the sets, and then they lose set 3, and it's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. So they got the next one, then they lose set 4, and it's 2-2, and they ended up winning it just on the
and then even then in that 5th set, they still snuck by 15-13, just barely.
Barely.
After dropping 2 sets back to back, you would think Fresno State had the momentum going for them. But
if they would have gotten reverse swept, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
But then after that, they went on to face Nevada. They lost that game, 3-2.
Yeah.
Same thing against them. They took away the first set, 25-20, and lost the next 2, 18-25, 23-25. And then they won the 4th, 25-20, but then they lost the 5th, 15-9, which that one was kind of a tough one. And then that one we actually almost evened out with kills, 54-55. So they're definitely coming by. I feel like definitely just from these 2 games alone, definitely feels like this is a positive note. Obviously they lost against Nevada, but I mean it was a really close win. Obviously besides the 5th set, losing by 6, that's tough. But getting 2 wins on the board, sorry. And then obviously, snapping that 16 winning streak. I'd imagine they're just still hungry for more, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even though they lost to Nevada, they still won all 5 sets. So, I mean, going all 5 sets in both games is pretty solid.
I mean, obviously, it definitely shows a lot of resiliency and a lot of toughness, considering you don't see games going all 5 sets typically.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then again, Tia had a double. She had 15 kills with 11 digs.
15 kills with a double.
And we had a new face come into the game and actually be right behind her. Freshman Celine Ozadurmir. I hope I didn't butcher that name. More than likely I did. I'm so sorry. She had 10 kills in her first game. So what do you guys think about that? Just coming off the bench and just being able to dominate second.
I mean, it's important to get production from the younger players like that, especially towards the end of the season. So it shows that there's growth and it shows that there's development in the program, and hopefully they can continue that development and growth.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. I mean they're here for this week, so we're gonna see what they can do. I mean, hosting their next 2 opponents.
Yeah.
Let's go from the court to the water, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's send it over to Christian. So, Christian, why don't you tell us about the water polo? What happened this week?
Why do you intro that just like such a radio broadcast? All right, Christian, let's go for it.
So water polo defeated Pacific down in Stockton. Not too long of a travel. The University of Pacific, we beat them 9-7. And something of interesting to note is we were pretty even in rankings. We weren't exactly right next to each other, but we're ranked number 14th, and Pacific's ranked number 16th in the nation. So it was a good win. It proved that we can beat teams that are close to us in those rankings. And a notable performance was definitely Ben Sabo. He had 4 goals. He led the goal scoring for the Spartans that day. And then looking forward, we're playing Pepperdine on November 4th at home at 1 p.m. So to go back home, and hopefully we can get a win here at the SRAC.
Is Pepperdine ranked?
Pepperdine is not ranked according to the SJSU's website, but
I mean, who knows? But I mean, if they're not, they're not.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool that we're ranked again. It's been a while, no?
What are we ranked at?
Oh, we're ranked 14th still. I don't know when the last time the rankings have been updated or anything, but right now our overall sits at 8-8 and 2-1 in conference. So, I mean, that's what it's about, really, is conference. That's they want to win conference. So,
I mean, obviously the end goal is the Mountain West tournament. So hopefully the water polo team can make it and come out on top on that Mountain West tournament.
West Coast Conference tournament.
West Coast Conference tournament.
Yeah.
I hate when colleges have so many different conferences. It's so pointless. Just stay in one. But yeah, so we're gonna see how it goes.
All right. Well, that's enough about water polo. Let's take it over to Joanna for some cross country coverage.
Yeah, so last Friday, the 27th, both the men's and women's cross-country teams competed at the Mountain West Championship in Boise, Idaho. So for the men's cross-country team, they placed 8th. And for the women's cross-country team, they placed 11th.
8th out of 9, 11th out of 11.
Yeah, I noticed when I started.
That's tough.
It's rough, but like we said last podcast, they are a very young team. We're not expecting ultimately the greatest times, but according to their coach, they did what they had to do. They ran what they were expected to run, and she's really excited to go into the upcoming indoor season.
Is it indoor cross?
That's what I've been researching.
That is. I have never heard of that.
How does that work?
She specifically for that part that she said on the little clip that I was watching, she goes, and we're really excited to move into the indoor cross country season. And I've been trying to figure that out.
Whoa!
I don't know if that's 100%. I don't know what the truth is for that. But
imagine just like the cross country team just running around upstairs in the SRAC, just running laps,
like an hour or something. Yeah.
That's Well, I mean, what do you guys think of that? I mean, our cross country team just dropping short, obviously.
Well, we kind of expected that based off how they performed all year, is what Joanna's been telling us. And I mean, we do know, like she said, it's a really young team, so it's kind of like some growing pains, I guess it would be a word.
Growing pains, yeah. I mean, in definitely a good way, because I mean, like both of you said, it's a young team. They expected what they expected. Even the coach said it. So I mean, obviously they're gonna come back next year and just completely rebuild the program. It seems like, considering that they struggled all year. So hopefully, I mean, obviously, like, they want to win that championship. So we'll see what they can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot of improvement for them. I didn't mention specific runners, but for the women's team, Amanda Chalberg, who I believe is a incoming freshman, has been leading them. So she's showing that there is improvement, there's growth that's happening, and that even though they're young, they're going to start preparing and being better as we see them.
Yeah, that's good to hear, actually, that a freshman's leading them.
So. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, a lot of room to grow. I mean, who knows? I mean, they can end up becoming, like, a captain, a leader on the team, especially being a freshman, being a part of the Mountain West, tournament team as well. Because, being a part, obviously, just having a chance at it is obviously something big. So we're going to see how it goes next season for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Nick, that's a very nice chain you got on over there.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's
Is it a tennis chain? Anyway, speaking of tennis, San Jose State women's tennis, they just won the doubles tournament in the St. Mary's fall invite and their fall schedule. So congratulations to them. What's up?
Oh, it's a nickel. Never mind, my fault.
Excuse me, I was doing my whole tennis recap. You just interrupted me.
Okay, my fault.
Anyways, so I'm sorry if I butcher these people's names. I'm really sorry. Congratulations, though. Irina Moradian and Chiokying Shek, they were able to compete and win the blue draw on Sunday. As of recording this, we're recording this on Tuesday, which is Halloween. So yeah, congratulations to them. And also Dua Durgan won her singles consolation match. Also, it's not the championship, but she was able to win that as well. So yeah, congrats to the women's tennis team, and specifically winning the doubles title. So good for them.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? You watched the game, you covered it, you recapped it, I believe, right? You can be honest.
I looked at the box score. It was it was in somewhere else I couldn't get to at the time. So.
Oh, well, obviously, winning something like that as a tournament, especially, it's a big win regardless. It's a tournament, it's a doubles tournament, and we haven't really covered our tennis team. So it's good to hear that like they've won something like big, whether like regardless of what it be.
And I did mention they defeated Santa Clara 6-3 in the doubles game, final match.
I never really watched tennis. I never really understood it, but it's good to know that our teams are like trying to win. Obviously, compared to like just not doing anything.
Yeah, and Shek's had a great season. Now she's got a doubles win under her belt, and also in the ITA regional, she also finished went all the way to the round of 16, which I believe it's out of like 162 players there, and it was over like 3 days. So yeah, so she's been balling out. Yeah,
balling out, swinging that racket.
Exactly.
All right, and then this upcoming week, our men's basketball team is actually going to be facing Cal State East Bay. So we finally have basketball starting up again. Obviously late into the semester as it's a winter sport. I guess winter sport. Obviously as it's indoors. It's notable to take note that last year our men's team went 21-14 and then 10-8 in conference. So we definitely have a good team. And then we only fell short in the Mountain West tournament against San Diego State, in which we all know like the run that they had. Yeah. We lost 49-64 in that game. So hopefully this time we can just flip it around, and hopefully San Diego State isn't as good as they were last season. But obviously more than likely they will be. But what do you guys think about the upcoming season so far for our men's team?
Yeah, I think it's after last year, everybody was glad that they hired Tim Miles to be the head coach, and it's going to be another season, and we'll get to see how he gets his team rolling again this year. Hopefully we can make another Mountain West appearance in the conference championships.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I've only heard great things about Tim Miles. Admittedly, I'm not too familiar with the San Jose State basketball team and what he's done, but talking to like Nate and all those people that have covered it in the past, they've said like he was a big hire for us, and our team was pretty solid last year, so hoping to just take another step in the right direction.
Exactly. Season 3 for Tim.
We are losing Omari Moore though, who's currently on the Bucks. Is he on the Bucks G League still?
Raptors. I think he got cut.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough one because obviously we lost a lot of heavy hitters for our basketball team, and it's this season's definitely gonna be a test of whether we can rebuild or as famously put in between us or reloading our team. So we're definitely gonna see. What do you guys think about obviously the big heavy hitters that we lost in these past few seasons?
That's part of college sports. You're gonna lose your best players eventually. They have to graduate. They have to move on.
Thank you guys for watching this week's episode of the SpearCast. We'll see you next time.
All right. Peace.
Goodbye, all our lovely listeners.